Hello everyone, welcome to our episode of SRBTV. I'm Kristen.
I'm Christopher.
And on today's episode, we are tackling Season 3, Episode 6. Thank you.
The Penultimate Peril, Part 2.
Events, and yeah, a lot happened last episode.
Yeah.
The kids were finally formally introduced to Kit Snicket. Turns out they had to go to the Hotel Dumont because somebody with the initials JS was gathering not only remainders of EFD, but also gathering all the witnesses and people that the Baudelaires have met throughout their journey and that are still alive.
Yeah, pretty much people, they bring out everybody who's met them, and
they were warned of two brothers, Frank and Ernest.
Which
one of them
Frank?
being Ian.
Which one's Frank and which one's Ernest?
Yeah, exactly. So, we see that there's two, but then
we find out because even for VFD, for a lot of former members, they've always heard that there was a unicorn, pretty much, or AKA a myth of a third brother.
Yeah, but just before they figured that out, they find out that JS is
Justice Strauss, because somebody corrected us. It's not Judge Strauss, it's Justice Strauss.
And it turns out she's been building a full-on case
since the end of
been building up this full-on case against Count Olaf.
Exactly, building it up and pretty much just putting everything together.
And they're even offered to live with her if they're able to succeed.
Exactly, but then
after that though, they finally figure out that there's a third Dumont brother.
There is a third brother, pretty much. Like that's why he stated pretty much it was a myth that there was a third brother, and there is, and he's in charge of the VFD library that's hidden underneath the hotel,
and that is Dewey.
And that's Dewey, pretty much.
And it turns out the Hotel Dumont is more or less a front to hide, which is underwater, the VFD library.
The full library, any little thing that they've collected, any type of information is in the library.
And just when they get offered to
take over the library,
Olaf shows up, sets him up, takes him hostage, but holds him up with a harpoon gun.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It was Dewey who's the one who was in love with Kit.
No, yeah, we figured.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what we figured. But for those who don't know, pretty much, of course, Dewey was the one that was in love. Because remember in the beginning of the episode, we thought, oh, wait a minute. So is she with Frank, or what, type of thing.
So, it gets to a point where Olaf finally snaps on Carmelia.
One of the best moments of the season so far.
Tells her to fuck off, breaks it off Esme, and just when he's about to shoot Dewey, they're able to convince him not to.
Yeah, you see the fear in his eye.
Because of Olaf being startled, or I forgot what happened exactly.
He's just like. He's hesitant. He becomes hesitant because...
And he drops the gun.
But no. He doesn't actually drop it. I rewatched the episode. It's the Baudelaires. Because once they have the...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They drop the... Because all of a sudden, just as when they get the harpoon in their hands, all of a sudden, freaking Mr. Poe comes out to see what the commotion's about. And all of a sudden, the Baudelaires get startled and drop the harpoon gun.
And it kills Dewey.
And Olaf becomes really shocked, like, holy crap. And that's pretty much, and he gets away, and
we are introduced to the current story's version of Lemony.
Of Lemony Snicket.
The Baudelaires are finally introduced
to Lemony Snicket.
To this current story.
Yeah, of Lemony Snicket, pretty much.
Not the narrator who's narrating this from the future.
Yeah, because he pretty much comes back to help the Baudelaires while Kit tries to help the Quagmires
to retrieve the sugar bowl.
They retrieve, yeah, exactly.
And we're also hinted that we finally may find out this episode.
Very much what happened
at the opera
house, pretty much, because they teased it at the end of this, stating it feels like it's almost what happened pretty much when they dropped it, where he slipped up. There was some type of mistake, and he may have slipped up, and it's like that's how come it feels like he was so hesitant at that point. Pretty much, he was so scared because it felt like his mind went back to what happened at the Opera House.
And so what we're already seeing is come tomorrow, the next day, is the court case against Count Olaf.
Yes, so here we go. We love all you guys' comments and just everything pretty much. We'll talk more after this episode. If you watch our highlights of this episode. Let's just get this going again for a series of unfortunate events. Season 3, Episode 6, The Penultimate Peril, Part 2. So, let's do this. We still have the... Oh. Wait, this Chica.
Wait, is that?
Is that Beatrice? Because remember, there's wings.
Yeah.
Oh, the brows.
I was
sleeping.
Must you bring that typewriter everywhere? Need to buy a credit for the daily punch. Critic. Oh, theatrical type should be complimented, not criticized.
It is! That's Maria Baccarin!
Yeah, as I said.
Dude, that's awesome!
Oh, yeah!
Yay!
It's so wonderful to see all of you together.
And to my son, who is here somewhere in the audience tonight. I love you, Olaf. Stay safe and good night.
That's his dad.
Olaf's dad was the head of the fire department.
Useful to get away quickly in a taxi.
Where's Kit? She was supposed to meet us.
I'm her brother. She sent me to help you, but I can only help if you get in this taxi right now.
Baudelaires! Baudelaires! I heard there was trouble, so I found these friendly police officers.
Oh,
No, Justice Strauss, no!
I'm on a land.
Sorry, Violet, maybe leaving isn't such a bad idea. If we have to worry about him for long, come with me.
Technically, it wasn't him.
It wasn't.
One time I can say he was.
I guess he couldn't stay.
Come.
Because remember, he had to fake his own death too, so he isn't really...
He's.
To your room. Count Olaf's trial will begin tomorrow morning. I thought Count Olaf was dead.
Oh, you can't believe anything you read in the Daily Punctilio. I don't know who writes that hogwash.
Your wife works there!
Okay, that's still 2 days away.
You can't start it tomorrow.
2 days.
Volunteers have arrived.
But if they were noble volunteers, they would have arrived early. What if
Not if I'm in prison. I'm your last chance to learn what really happened. I can tell you things that you'll never learn on your own.
we'd rather see you in jail?
Your choice.
It's the most ominous he's been for a while.
I know, for a while.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
What the big deal is, there's still two of you. Oh.
There's and trust me. But if not, you can trust the law.
You know, I had to do it once.
Yeah.
To interpret that expression literally, so everyone must cover their eyes before the trial starts.
Scout.
What this means is the literal interpretation makes no sense.
Well, the interpretation of laws can be perplexing, like the interpretation of sausages. I'll wait in the hall.
So, all I've learned from this is don't eat the sausage.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
I guess they meant literally.
They.
Poor food decided it's nothing.
Esme. How you gonna escort them blindfolded? Oh, never mind.
Where am I? Okay.
I'm listening.
There's an elevator over this way.
Oh! That hurt. Oh.
The trial is about to begin.
They're all wearing blindfolds.
Please take your seats.
How can we find our seat? We can't see.
Oh. Move to your left. A little more.
He's fine. He's fine.
He's good.
He's fine.
Trial. Everyone is welcome to the after party hosted by me. Wealthy women are particularly welcome.
We're having a party. It's a cocktail.
Oh.
Yeah. My party will have Broadway caliber musical numbers.
Oh my god.
My party will have blackjack and hookers.
My party will have sausages.
Listen.
Nobody would listen.
Oh, simply dreadful.
He lost everything.
Bitch, you have nowhere to fucking talk.
I know, right?
That one day we'd find a safe place.
Where people would listen to us.
Oh my
Oh
god.
god, really? What?
Okay, so the one on the right is Frank.
Okay.
They're so great.
They're so organized.
They remind me of myself.
Oh, you children that told me what you were going through.
Oh my god! They happened! Ah.
Look, get off. He's about to go to jail. Why does he look so calm?
Maybe he's acting calm.
We both know he's
The
not.
High Court. I have a funny feeling who the High Court is.
It seems my fellow.
Oh Oh, motherfucker.
Yeah, it just hit me too.
Shut up.
Who is too afraid to protect you, and a woman who values paperwork over people's lives.
Shit, he's gonna bring it down.
Like I said, they should just let it roll. It's like I said.
He only struck by a limb. I see volunteers whose complicated codes and pretentious literary references.
God damn it, they should have just let him.
Yeah, but he seemed too calm about it though.
No, because he knew they would do this. He knew they would do this.
These so-called decent people have done more to louder, please, for the court.
We held Esme Squalor hostage.
And when needed to reach VFD headquarters in the Mortmain Mountains.
He knew they were gonna ask him to go up.
They have to understand, he's also former VFD. So he's also an agent, so he knows how to do all of this.
Klaus Baudelaire, you, who stole Hal's key after the Baudelaires were accused of murder.
God damn it, they could just let this go.
Baby, let's stick them out of jail.
You are going to burn us at the stake.
It completes my tea set.
There's no one option left.
It's a wicked thing to do.
For noble reason. Trust me.
What did we say a few episodes ago? A wicked thing for noble reasons.
That's the penultimate scene. Penultimate is the word.
The gray area.
There are times when you have to in order to put out a fire, you have to start a fire.
It is an opera.
What is going on?
Are we throwing darts? That's way more exciting than opera.
We're all rational discussion.
Shit.
Friends don't steal sugar bells.
Everyone remain calm.
Who threw that?
That was on the other side.
But that wasn't. Was that Beatrice?
That was Beatrice.
No.
That was Beatrice.
Shit.
Wait. Was it? It was Lemony.
No.
This trial is about the Baudelaire.
No, Beatrice had it in her hand.
So that means it was Lemony who threw it.
Crow. We've been eating crow.
Tastes more like chicken.
Face already chicken. Okay.
Bring some water, everyone.
So because of what happened that night,
What happened to his father?
The court will deal with you later.
the schism happened.
Baudelaire. Now,
But what does the sugar bowl contain?
distractions or side plots. Count Olaf, is there anything further you'd like to say to the court?
Oh my
Wait,
god.
where did he get the piano?
In the form of a song.
Song.
Very well.
I'm so incredibly innocent.
Baudelaires, please take your seats. Everyone.
Why did it switch to them instead of Olaf?
Because of the matter of the evidence that just came up.
You two Baudelaires.
Blindfold on. I'll do it for you.
They don't.
Fucking- You gotta admit, there was probably a couple of times there was bloopers of him.
Justice Strauss.
Justice Strauss cannot reply right now. She's concentrating very deeply on this.
I was right.
Justice Strauss is fine. She made that noise because she's enjoying the delicious on the High Court with her for many years.
God,
They are a part of the High Court.
Silence.
They are the High Court.
Everyone, take off your blindfolds. Camelot has kidnapped Justice Strauss. Strauss of Nile. That's the truth.
I believe them. They've experienced millions.
Oh my god.
Nothing but trouble.
Oh.
Their lives.
You're murdered.
I have to retrieve the sugar.
God damn it, man.
Retrieve the Medusa and mycelium.
Why was that part the most obvious?
And then you said when they said two,
There's a lot of ups and
Yeah.
downs. But hey, so's life.
that means they were always a part of it.
Sure you can. This hotel is like a library, and you can. What did the little brat say?
She said burn down hotel.
Sonny, no.
The littlest orphan is following in my footsteps. After all.
You're a terrible guardian. Sonny doesn't know what she's saying.
No, it's
No, think about it. Sonny's remembering what they've stated. This is their gray area.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Nefarious means for no reasons.
Flee.
We're not blind. Can't you smell the smoke?
That's from the barbecue for the cocktail party.
Parties who started a fire.
And after we tried so hard to set a bad example.
You have disappointed us for the last time.
I certainly have.
You're a disgrace to the legal profession.
Oh my god!
Up next.
She's
I swear. Also, the sugar bowl is definitely not down in the laundry.
He's lying. We'll take the steps to the laundry and blame ourselves.
You know what?
I have no problem with that. No.
We're sorry.
Oh. They have no choice.
They have no other choice but to.
The sinister duo are running the law. Olaf made a lot of good points during that court case about the Baudelaires.
Yeah.
I never...
Would you mind if I get this?
It's too painful to hold on to.
So he starts up the investigation
Imagine what you use for
to
it.
build it back up for her.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, the library's technically safe, isn't
It's
it?
still safe. Because it's
Yeah.
underground.
Underwater.
If it were, I would tell you about a man, a woman, and a terrible crime that happened one night. Has been extinguished, and every home rebuilt, and every code and heart has been broken. I will love you if you marry someone else. I will love you if you have a
The
child.
Baudelaires
Or
have.
2 children, or 3. Seems like a good number.
Beatrice is their mom.
Holy shit.
Beatrice Baudelaire.
I always know.
She's the mother. Because remember, they have
The peppermint allergy.
allergy just
the
like
nonchalant
her.
thing about bringing up having 3 kids.
Wherever they are now.
So that was where pretty much he's been searching since then.
And that's where his investigation has led to this moment.
To this moment, pretty
To
much.
find out what happened to him after...
After all this, where did they go to, on that boat? Where did they end up at?
You know, we keep forgetting. We talked about this at the end of season 1. No matter how many times they're that close to the happy ending, something always comes its way.
Something comes in its way, pretty much, of them trying to show proof, trying to fight, pretty much, to show that they're innocent, that they're not the ones, pretty much, to look at, you know?
I mean, this was easily the smartest Olaf has been this entire series. Like, he played them like a fiddle. He knew full well that they were going to ask.
And
To
that's
ask.
what I said. They keep forgetting, he's a former VFD member. So he was taught, just like them, you know, raised up, he was taught how to survive. So like you said, he has those moments where he could be the freaking smartest guy there is. But he has those moments where he's just the most idiotic person there is.
So, I mean, this was such a whirlwind of an episode, to be fair. I mean, where do you even start? Like, I mean, aside from the obvious, High Court was a sinister duo.
That's why I said
which we don't get a conclusion for them right now.
Yeah, as of right now, we just see, like I said, we saw the hotel fire. That's it. We don't know who survived, who got out.
So we know what happened at the Opera House.
Yeah.
So Esme at the time was dating Lemony, and Kit at the time was dating Olaf, and they were at the opera, and they had the sugar bowl, and they got to argue about said sugar bowl.
Yeah.
She took the sugar bowl.
That's where
she threw a poison dart, and then Beatrice inadvertently threw a poison dart and killed
Olaf's. Pretty much killed Olaf's father, making him an orphan, which makes sense to why he hates orphans so much.
Because they remind him so much of himself.
That he's become an orphan.
And then from there on in, it's been split about what I would say what really happened. Not only about the sugar, but like what really happened.
Exactly, and like they stated pretty much. There's always that gray area, you know, like they said that, you know, with the schism that you have the good, you have the bad, but you have the gray area. And that's where at the Opera House, it showed the gray area. It showed that pretty much, like I said, they had no other choice but to run.
In the end, this is why Lemony has spent so much time investigating them to find out where they went. Because he feels bad, because he had a chance to save them from all of this.
Yeah, and he feels so very bad, you know, and just this how much effort he's put into it, pretty much. He feels like this is his chance to succeed. He wasn't able to, do his best to help Beatrice and stuff like that. It was, especially what happened to her. It's like there was nothing he could have done whatsoever. There's nothing he could have done. So pretty much, this is his way of trying to repay that. Where it's like, this is my chance to help somebody, to help the Baudelaires.
Now we know the Sugar Bowl is the main focus, but do we really know at this point what's really in the Sugar Bowl? All I keep on thinking it's a poison dart in the Sugar Bowl.
You think it's just a poison dart?
I think it's like it's just.
It's where like they said, because they said it's where the schism began.
Is with that Sugar Bowl. And last time I checked, the only thing left in that Sugar Bowl was actual sugar.
Yeah, so unless there was actual dart, that's showing that the dart is kind of showing this is where it all began. It was just a single dart that started the whole schism within VFD.
Yeah, so I would figure with the series finale episode, we're gonna finally figure that out.
Yeah, we'll finally figure it out.
We also inadvertently reach the end of Lemony's investigation.
Yeah,
the point
at this
he's
point.
currently at.
Yeah.
As to he still doesn't know where
they
Olaf and the Baudelaires are.
Where they're at, and to me, this is, and especially where the timeline's at as well, and that is, it feels like Lemony was in love with her, but since he had to go on the run, because now we know that Beatrice is their mother. Beatrice, she.
I feel like we should have known that sooner. But
to me, it feels like he had to go on the run, pretty much. So while he was hiding, she kind of fell in love with somebody else.
And
then later on, pretty much, he finds out that her life's in danger. So that's when, remember, because we saw that earlier in the seasons, where pretty much we see him trying to get to her in time, because it's like, okay, I could be completely wrong, but it's like, maybe he thought everything was good. He was, he was back, he's not on the lam anymore, but he finds out about Olaf being there, and that's where pretty much Olaf was getting his revenge on Beatrice, but because he still had that love for her, but even though she moved on. But, because like I said, you should bring up the peppermint, but also, like I said, Mr. Poe also brought up going, their father was also an orphan as well. That's what they stated. Their father was an orphan. But you just see where everything's coming together, where Olaf, to be honest, is making a lot of sense. Everything.
And you can even tell that he's kind of justified in his actions. It finally makes sense why he detests the VFD, why he detests the Baudelaires.
Yeah, why he detests what happened, things like that. And it's coming full circle, and you're sitting there going, wow, now you're understanding where Olaf is coming from.
Yeah.
You understand what Olaf's pain is going through and why he's been doing a lot of this. And like you said, throughout the season, you see he's smart, but he has his dumb moments. But you see he's pretty much really intelligent when he wants to be, But overall, though,
it comes back to what we said a few episodes ago. What Hookie said. I keep on forgetting his actual name. But what Hookie said pretty much, and that is, nefarious, wicked means for noble reasons?
Yeah, wicked means for noble reasons.
And that's what they were doing with the Sugar Bowl.
That's where we got the start of pretty much, again, like we said, that's when we finally put together, it's like in VFD, you have the good, you have the bad, but you have the middle.
And that's where that's what the Baudelaires realized here by burning down the hotel.
And that's where Sonny realized. That's when Sonny was like, that's why in a way it clicked for Sonny, it finally clicked into Sonny's mind going, like we said before, in order to put out a fire, we have to start a fire.
Yes.
And that's what they're starting to realize, and what pretty much what Hookie meant. What Hookie's starting to understand, they're understanding what he's talking about. That's why Hookie's like, I only went to Olaf because he's the only one who let me in.
Yeah, and that there just proved with the whole the two high justices being sinister duo that they finally understand that Olaf in a way is kind of right. There isn't any noble people out there.
There is none at all, pretty much, and that's where it really kind of gets them.
He's right. VFD aren't noble. They just follow their own code, and they save the day, but they have their own personal code
they have to follow.
And the fire starters, of course, they're bad guys, and they don't do it for noble reasons at all. They just do it to cause chaos.
Yeah, they do it.
And there's the ones in between, the Poes, the group of Glee Club singers. There's Babs. There's the people from the hospital.
Yeah, it's like it's them. They're the in-betweeners. They're the gray area, pretty much. And that's why I like
Well, not the gray area
not
per
the gray
se,
area,
but
just the middle.
But just the neutral ones.
The neutral ones, yeah.
Who aren't really clear about the real world around them.
Exactly.
That's why this is one thing we've always brought up, and we'll probably bring up in our series review next week, is that it's just goes to show what we hate so much about what we realized throughout season 1, which was they're supposed to be idiots.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be rooting for the kids. So the kids are the smarter ones, and they'll learn and they'll adapt, and that's what they did here. They learned that that Justice, as much as Justice Strauss tried, there's still going to be sinister actions in the background.
In the background, exactly, and that's why even like they said, Hookie said pretty much, there's that gray area, but it's only because you have to survive.
Yeah, and we still don't know what happened with Kid. Remember, last we see a Kid. She was in the submarine.
It looked like
she was attacked by that giant sea creature.
The sea creature. So we don't know if she survived or not. We don't know what's going on there at all. Or even what happened to the Quagmire, because she was trying to she saw the Quagmire, so we don't even know what's going on with them either.
Well, I think they're safe.
I think they are safe.
Out of everybody, I think they're the safest.
But I think pretty much they're gonna come back into it. I feel like it's gonna come back. They're gonna have to come back into it, but it's with their help. I think it's gonna it's pretty much not clear their names, but possibly this is something to help them out even more to try to stop this from happening. Yeah, as you can tell, this episode really got to us. That's like where it's like, even with this episode, it's like, wow, just the way everything went. Everything's coming to fruition, and we haven't got to the very last episode, which is the next episode.
But overall, this was a very well done episode.
Yeah, and
I just love, now I kind of sympathize for Olaf in a way, because of what he went through.
What he's gone through and why he does what he does.
He thought originally, God damn it, it feels like we're going to be a series review, but I'll just say this much about Olaf. In a way, he was using this getting the Baudelaires' fortune as a way not only to pay back on Beatrice, but just to try to fill that empty void that was left when his father was killed by her.
Yeah, exactly.
His father was killed by
that empty void, pretty much, and that's how come, like I said in the last episode, when he was just hesitant, because it was just it's like to him, it's just that void he's trying to fill, and it's just he's lost when he's in that void. He doesn't know what to do. You saw him there, and like I said, this show just. What I like about the show is it just takes a look at what we're going through in this real world. It feels like we're talking about the series finale overview pretty much, but I'm talking about just a little bit, but it's just looking at what we're dealing with in the real world.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the series. What nowadays what people sometimes have to go through just to survive, just to get through. You have to do bad things just to survive, or you have to do bad things just to get to good things, whether you like it or not. And this episode really kind of opened up even more for the Baudelaires. Yeah,
even them saying, even Olaf saying, none of you are perfect either.
Yeah.
You tried to burn them, and don't forget, they stole the keys from your librarian. And, and you use them as, servants.
Exactly, and it's a type of thing where it's just they thought they can get away with it, but it's they have to understand that, again, Olaf said, nobody in this world is noble. You don't have anybody in this world that's noble enough to be that good.
And that's when he said their parents were. That's where it hit hard for Olaf, because he knew they weren't. Well, at the very least, we knew Beatrice wasn't.
Yeah.
We still don't know much about the father.
Yeah, because like I said, Mr. Polk just dropped out of nowhere, where he's just their father's an orphan. That's what I'm like. Too ominous for them to drop something like that information.
Yeah, so we don't yet know about we don't really know the full story of Mr. Baudelaire. Now we know who Mrs. Baudelaire was. Who was Beatrice.
It was Beatrice.
This whole entire time.
But
we're gonna stop there for the most part.
Yeah.
So other than that, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share this around, share it around. And if you like it's just a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to talking about Netflix original series, hit the subscribe button down below, hit that bell icon as well.
Let us know how they took this, what you thought of this episode. Did they take it pretty much just as like how the book was taken from it? Did they change maybe a couple things?
We've been told multiple times that they did alter stuff.
They have altered stuff. They have altered stuff pretty much the build up for the finale. But just let us know what you guys thought of this episode overall. Do you think they did a great job with it? Any favorite moments? Any favorite parts for this episode? Just let us know pretty much in the comments below. Another thing is, everybody had asked for it pretty much. We thought it was a long episode. I want to get to that.
I was gonna bring it up as soon as you were done.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring it. Well, that's why I said I want to bring it up because there's other stuff I want to bring up. That's why.
Go.
But we are gonna do the 2-part episode pretty much for the finale because we want our full reaction, but we have to split it up. A couple people want us to do it the same day. But we're not going to do that. We're going to have one day pretty much for part 1 of the end episode and part 2 the next day to give people...
He's going to try to squeeze as much
as I can without too much.
Without going over to hitting copyright strikes.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to be careful.
And both part 2. We're going to try to get as much as possible as we can for the overall finale.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Until on the next episode...
I still need to wrap up.
Oh, wrap up.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Wrap up!
Let me wrap it up. But we are going to be doing that. Put down what you thought of our reaction to this episode. As always, we'd love to hear guys' thoughts and comments down below. Put down what you pretty much, just thought of this episode. But most importantly, we definitely thank you if you made it up to this point for watching.
And of course, on the next episode of a series of unfortunate events, like he said, we will be tackling Season 3, Episode 7, the series finale episode
called The End
of a series of unfortunate events. And you will, for the first time on this show, we will not only will be doing a season review, but for the first time on the show, we will be doing a series review. This is our first time tackling a series finale on the SRB TV. So
and for those who don't really follow us on the other shows, normally usually on the season finale or even like we're gonna do tomorrow, we go over the finale episode and then we go over the season and then we go over the character breakdown throughout the whole series or that season.
So it's gonna break down like this. Part 1 is gonna be our introduction, our thoughts, what's gonna happen in the finale. Part 1, essentially. Our part 1 reactions. Then in part 2, our part 2 reactions up until the final scene, and then of course is the season /
so by the time, like I said, we get through the highlights for the part 1, pretty much we will have something pretty much where it says to be continued in part 2 tomorrow,
Because trust us, after that, we seriously want to know what the fuck happens to these kids.
I know, it's this build up has been great. I love where it's been going, but like I said, we'll be able to enough of all of that. We'll definitely be able to talk so much more in the finale. So until next time, I'm Kristen. I'm Christopher,
and this has been a very penultimate filled unfortunate event episode of SRB TV.
We'll see you
at the finale.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
If you want to check out our previous reactions,
as well as our other shows,
click the playlist down below.
And if you want to check us out in the social universe,
you can check us out on Twitter,
as well as Stardust,
@SuperReactBros.